Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm doing a behind the scenes to the Kraken part 2, yeah. So what do I want to say? First of all, now these weapons that these characters have, now you've just got to imagine that they're sort of like medieval that's like a medieval musket, and that's like a sort of medieval kind of like pistol and stuff like that. Because like the thing is, it is like 1666 or whatever, so it's like sort of not so much medieval times, but sort of, you know, the older sort of times and that. And so yeah, and the same with the costume sort of thing, but these are, I have to do with what I have sort of thing, but yeah. Interestingly enough, something did change in the sort of process of making the Kraken Part 2, which was that Alex was going to come out of the TARDIS and be all like, "Doctor, you've been like 30 minutes or something, you know, half an hour." And she's kind of getting a bit worried, and then she comes out of the TARDIS, and then she's like, "Doctor, where are you?" and would be looking around and stuff. But the thing is, although the TARDIS is literally only really like a few, like not very far away from, say, this roof of a house of sorts, obviously, in the Figure Adventures, in my mind at least, there's like, you know, a few miles between them, maybe 2 miles between them, and that, or maybe a bit more, or whatnot. But enough so that when she does come out of the TARDIS and is all like, "Doctor, where are you?" You know, and she'd only see these lot as like a blur, like a blobs and that in the distance and stuff. So yeah, yeah, this one's going well so far, I think. I'm developing his character. She's quite one-dimensional character. I don't even have a name for her. But yeah, she's just sort of found out about all these horrible plans that Jack has and that, and yeah. And then there's the Dark Doctor, who in later parts the plan is that he gets extremely dark, obviously, and that opposing Jack and stuff, which we saw a little bit of, but this was like a taster session, you know, a taster of what is to come and whatnot. So yeah, and then there might be some sort of destruction, some sort of some destruction of some stuff later down the line. And yeah, we will see his masters eventually, Jack's masters. I'm not obviously going to give that away towards who they are, and that, because that'd ruin it. But yeah, yeah, I've been enjoying doing this one. I enjoyed it. I planned it quite a bit before doing it. You know, just not thoroughly going through it, but sort of just vaguely planning out, okay, so this is what's going to happen at the beginning, this is going to happen at the middle, and this is going to happen at the end. Because I think once you've got sort of like the middle, the beginning, and the end, I think that, you know, it usually works. And then I think with the dialogue, you can just kind of go in as you want, you know, because I feel like I personally can really just go into this sort of mode of being sort of like a sort of mad, a sort of you know, kind of evil kind of character and that, and it helps with watching a lot of TV. And then it's quite sad with her, because she's just this innocent sort of woman who wants her husband back. Jeffrey, I think his name was I think. He was the guy, if you're not aware, was the guy who died in the first part. So there's been one death, which isn't a lot in my series. Yeah, it is quite steeped in death, but yeah. Yeah, which is a bit weird, really. Because, yeah, the show isn't really steeped with death a lot, but yeah. I mean, it is getting darker, obviously, with Capaldi and stuff, and there are, you know, more sort of consequences to the Doctor's actions and stuff, and I really liked that sort of, you know, sort of thing, that, you know, it's not all just fun and games and stuff. And there is that massive contrast with Matt Smith's sort of fairy tale sort of era, and then the sort of way more darker in the respect of just the TV show and Matt Smith and Capaldi. They're considerably different. You know, they're like chalk and cheese, and that and yeah. But obviously, I guess compared to say the sort of like, you know, books and comic books and graphic novels and Big Finish audios and stuff like that, the show isn't that dark. But I guess they could never go as dark as stuff like that, because obviously it's got to appeal to a wide audience, whereas those sort of things can appeal directly to the fans, because the fans are the ones who are going to be buying those sort of products and that, because they want more of Doctor Who. But yeah, what am I going to say? Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe later down the line, introducing the Jax Masters, and that, and they'll be really good. I hope a few next parts. I'm just building it up, and I hope there is some tension and stuff. I don't know if Alex is going to be in this one much. I want her to be in it, but I feel like I'm finding it quite hard, at least in terms of this story / episode. I'm finding it quite hard to kind of think of something that she can significantly help or do with the Doctor, because like this, I feel like this is more of the Darker Doctor's sort of like, you know, like it's sort of like episode or quest, so it might be a companion light episode. I mean, I hope that she'll be in some more of part 3 and later parts. So yeah. I don't want to ruin how many parts this one is. You're just gonna have to wait and see how many parts it is, and that, and yeah, you've just got to pretend that these are sort of like musket-based weapons. So that's like a musket-like weapon, like pistol, you know, and a musket of sort, and that's is like a pistol from that sort of time period and stuff. But it just it's really irritating me. Not irritating me, but just niggling away at me. It's like, why can't I just have those sort of like accessories? But you know, you make do and mend with what you've got. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.